Hey folks, Weatherman Sam, man in the big green hat. I'm down here at the Triana landing trail in Alabama, exploring the Pumphouse Trail and the namesake trail itself, the Triana landing trail. They form a bit of a loop along Indian Creek that feeds into Tennessee River that's just outside the range of these two trails. We're going to make the entire loop itself and see the old pump house and whatever else we can find. Here we are at the start of the Pumphouse Trail. It crosses this little drainage that stays mostly dry. We'll go up to the head of that in a bit and see if there's a spring on our way out. Actually, this whole thing makes a loop. Here's some of the backwaters of Indian Creek. Come up to meet a little spring. We had a couple little wildflowers blooping here at the start of it. This is daisy fleabane. We have some henbit and butterweed. Always like the name butterweed. Pumphouse Trail goes to, it says to the right and the left, but the Triana landing trail starts somewhere off to the left. You can follow it on up to the old city park. But we're going to go to the right for a while. Most people don't think of bluffs when you think of West Huntsville, but here along the river there's lots of little neat spots within the refuge. You can find rock outcroppings and small bluffs like this, maybe even small waterfalls, although I'm still on the search for those. The stretch of the Pumphouse Trail was pretty open. Obviously an old roadbed, had to access the pump house somehow. And along through here lots of dandelion, wild garlic. That looks like well, I don't know what this little wildflower is, but I'll post this as a caption to the little video segment. Lots of buckeye through here. We've had a lot of rain here of late, and it looks like the trail is suddenly flooded. Well, we'll see if I can get up through the woods here a bit. Well, I am up in the thick of it now. This is slow going. We're not, but about 200 feet maybe from the old pump house itself. Like now maybe I'm finally coming out of it a bit. So here's the trail. May need to be rerouted a bit higher. You can see a glimpse of the old pump house here. And I ain't going back the way I came. That was too thick with thorns. We'll take the loop portion out. So the last time I was here, the loop portion was so thick with ivy, and it was most certainly snake season, and I couldn't see where I was putting my feet, so I turned back. Way back in the late 1800s, or when Huntsville was first founded and they needed a way to access the Tennessee River, they dredged or kind of widened a part of what's the Indian Creek here. Ended up being the it was the canal. I've forgotten what they called it. They didn't call it the Big Spring Canal, but wow, that was a big fish that jumped. This was their access point for the Tennessee River. Beyond that, I don't know much of the history. This is the pump house here, but there's a spring in the shelter behind it. We're gonna go up and explore. Lots of flotsam and debris from the creek flooding so much. Make our way through this. There was no sign that I found in all this debris. Part of some nature trail, and I wonder where this washed down from, because there's nothing upstream of here except for the Redstone Arsenal. Quite interesting. By now you can hear the old spring running. There's where it's coming from. There's another collection basin there. This comes down and runs out into the larger vat down closer to Indian Creek itself. There's the pump house. I wish we could get that old tree off of it. The old collection vat is full of duckweed. Let's see if we can get down here and take a peek inside the old pump house itself. It'd be interesting. I just scared the crap out of myself. I moved the door and this guy came flying out of a hole on the other side. Here's the inside of the pump house. Best I can hold this door open to see. Still in pretty good shape, it seems. It's being used by the local turkey vultures as a roosting spot. That's pretty cool nonetheless. This is where I was standing, pointing my camera in, or about to point my camera in, and that big vulture shot out of this hole like a cannon. You can see the old pipe extends out here. It would have extended out somewhere, maybe toward that old vat. There's evidence of the spring even extending over further this way. There's also a pipe that's fallen off or broken, laying down here. It's a really interesting little spot. It doesn't see much attention. Love to see it preserved. There's another old wooden post here. Maybe this was just a nature trail from way back when or something. The trail will continue out where these floodwaters are. There's no way that way right now. So we're headed up these steps to a beautiful little rock garden. And there's the old pump house once again. And I just noticed this is underwater for the moment, but this is a fire ring. And you can see some cans still there, unfortunately. It's right by the old pump house. I got startled because that big old bird, that big old vulture's coming to see if I'm gone yet so he can come back in the pump house. Anyway, this is refuge land, and there's no camping allowed on this land at all. Come on, buddy, I ain't gonna bother you any. I believe this is Indian tobacco that's in bloom here. I'm up above where the pump house is a little bit, and there's lots of resurrection fern and all these boulders. Some of the pretty purple wood violets. The whole trail's a bit washed out through here, but you can still follow it easy enough. You never know what you're going to find in terms of wildflowers when you come to a new place, or even a place that you've been to a million times before. And so far I haven't seen a whole lot, but it's neat just to see something. And here's Ivy Land. Gotta tell where people have chucked through it. And I can't go back through all those briars, so we're gonna give this a go. Seems to be a little bit of a path beaten into it. I know it leads up to the backside of Flamingo Park. That's where I'm hoping this will put us out if I follow this up. There's several little draws and whatnot. All is just covered in ivy. You're not going to find any wildflowers through here. Yeah, here we go. We're on the back side of Flamingo Park. This old park bench was made with just concrete blocks and some concrete slabs. Some cinder blocks and that one over there. Those are old stones stacked up to make columns. Just a pretty interesting little place to me. Old town here. I'm gonna take a peek on up over here in this little intermittent unnamed stream bed. You can see the pavilion. We're already back to the trailhead. Cool. I can see some rock outcroppings up here. It doesn't look like there's anything flowing at all. Doing a little bit more sniffing here. After a good rain, you'd actually get a really small waterfall right here. How about that? I'll have to come back and see this sometime. The falls at Triana Landing. Thanks for coming along on this little adventure, folks. Hope you enjoy the sights and sounds of the crazy turkey vulture and the old pump house. See some of the interesting rock formations. A lot of bugs out here. Till next time, keep exploring, stay wild.